Okay, so this video was sent to me by a watcher, and I skimmed through it a bit, but I mean, it's a video, obviously. Selling my startup for 500 million. So this is where do I even begin? Okay. Because the funny part is bitches think that they found the new fucking route in life when it's just gonna be it's prostitution. That's all. Well, it's prostitution or indirect prostitution. That's their fucking existence. She's no different. She's not special. It's their fucking the goal of their life is either direct or indirect prostitution. To have any end up having any fun with a man. That's where it's. So she goes on about her sugar daddy experience with seeking arrangement. What it's like. Should you join? So let's just get this shit started.
Hey fam, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Tori, and I think at some point all of us have considered either becoming a stripper or marrying someone rich, or at least our friends have joked about it to us. And I like to talk about topics that not everybody is always comfortable talking about. This brings up the topic of sugar babies and seeking arrangements. Now, there is a lot of videos out on the internet right now about that website and being a sugar baby, but in most cases it is either someone doing a reaction video looking at all the crazy messages the dudes send them, and most times they're in a relationship and had no intention of actually using the site.
Oh, okay, now let's look at this picture right here. My mom reacts to my new sugar daddy message on seeking arrangement. Alana Arbuzzi. See, now for guys who know hookers and prostitutes and bitches like that, see, there's a lot that's being communicated in this picture alone. See, every woman, when she's up and coming and she figured out she can get $5 for her pussy, she thinks she is the golden child who was the only one who genuinely figured it out. And all the other bitches were like these mystical gods who was automatically to them. So she like that. Alana, she's like legit fucking like ecstatic, because if she wasn't, she wouldn't put it on YouTube. Now, on a deeper level note, look at the mom. Like, now, this is a typical mother, child to parent relationship. The child thinks they're the first one to ever find it. The mom is saying, "Oh my God, this is what I did. You know, my daughter's a fucking whore. She's finally made it to whoredom." Her mother is not shocked. Her mother is fucking disappointed in her. But the thing is, her mother didn't know what else to teach her, because yes, that's what she did at some point. She's either thought about prostitution, thought about stripping, or marrying a rich guy. That's what all women do. They all are going, because all a woman wants in life is to be validated by what they deem a successful man. Sex really don't matter. I mean, because a woman, she'll get, plowed by any random dude in a bar or something like that. So she's not concerned with the sex at all. Okay. The woman's core objective in life is to find an easier life financially and to be validated by men who are deemed valuable by other women. That's general for most. I say for 93% of women, that's the general, where they're going with it. But like all women, they all end up like the mother on the left, which her mother's not a bad looking woman, but I mean, she's older. They all, and they can't compete with, like, she can't compete with her daughter on that same act. And they end up just mad, frustrated for the rest of their life. That's sad. And give her 20 years, it'll be the same thing. She'll be sitting up in a picture talking about something. My daughter was on seeking arrangements, now I'm upset.
Them, and most times they're in a relationship and had no intention of actually using the site, or to someone that just tried it out to get views on a YouTube video and again never went on even one date. So I wanted to bring you this video from the perspective of someone that signed up way before I actually got real with my YouTube videos, which I do upload every other day during quarantine. Well, almost every other day during quarantine, so there'll be so many videos for you. and so many videos coming forward on seeking arrangements and being a sugar baby. But for now, I just wanted to mention the fact that I actually tried it out for real with the intention of using it and actually met men and actually had dates.
We know.
So I think it gives you a different perspective than you'll get in another video. Now I want to talk about, why do people sign up? What's the reality of the site, and what were dates I went on actually like, and the offers I got from men, and maybe some advice for you if you decide you want to go down the road of being a sugar baby, or in general just getting an account and seeking arrangements, and whether I think it is worth your time.
Okay, I could sum this shit up in about 38 seconds. If you've signed up for a sugar baby website as a woman, your whole job on that website is to bounce on a fucking hard dick. That's all. That's it. Now, anything else is just some side fetish shit the guy wants to. Maybe he likes for a woman to take advantage of his money or whatever the fuck like that. But at the core, you are not special. What is this bitch name? Crazy Family First, whatever this whole name is. Look, listen to me. You are not the woman who made this. You are not special. All the ones over here in the side thing were probably getting more dick than you ever got in money. There's nothing special about you. Okay. Your job was to fulfill that position to open a hole for a dick. Point blank. He didn't care about your makeup. He didn't care about your hair. He didn't care about the fact that you wore black pants with high heels that day. Your job was to be a young girl to bounce on fucking dick for money. Get over it.
Because it is a time commitment. Anything in life is going to take away time from something else you could be doing. So is it worth it? That will be the final question at the end. Is it worth your time? I think it's important to mention this disclaimer. I use seeking arrangements like I would use any other dating app, which was its intention.
Yeah.
I am not looking to be an escort or a prostitute in any way, shape, or form. So if you're looking for that kind of video, you clicked on the wrong one. I also never looked at it as a career. I make my own money. I have my own very ambitious career goals, which include possibly doing YouTube down the road. So any help you can give me from hitting that like and subscribe button or watching other videos really helps a girl out. But I'm not saying you can't make a career out of this. I will go more into, the money aspects of things throughout this video, and you can make your own opinions on whether you want it to be your career goal and if it is possible. Now I want to start off, like I said, with why do people join seeking arrangements? Maybe what is seeking arrangements if you don't know what it is. So seeking arrangements is a sugar baby, sugar daddy website, which sounds so weird to say. And in general, it is older men that are more financially stable, looking for usually younger women who are looking for financial assistance, mentoring, or connections in one shape, form, or another.
As I said, prostitute. It's a direct prostitution exchange. Now, some guys may be a little more shy and may say, "Oh, I'm not. I just want to take her." No, because if he was like that, he would have got some fucked up ugly bitch who worked down the street at the fucking gas station and did it with her. He didn't. He went online and found a younger bitch who's not the worst looking woman on the planet. It's prostitution. All right, you're a fucking hooker. Let's call it. It is what it is. You experimented with prostitution. All right, you're not special.
One of the main reasons why I signed up was because I knew at my age it'd be very hard to meet men who were financially stable in a career that maybe I was also interested in, and it would give us something to talk about, and maybe they could introduce me to people who are also in the industry further than I am right now, which is...
Doesn't that sound like the typical tagline of a music video hoe? That is the typical tagline of a music video hoe.
It's not very far. And that's something you can't usually do unless you have connections with your family, which I don't. So, it's time to gag on dicks and move up the ladder. Meet people who can give me those connections. It's putting yourself out there and surrounding yourself in a circle of people you want to be like. They always say you are most like the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with, some term like that. But basically, who you surround yourself with is who you are or who you will become. Status.
Yeah. And on the other hand, why not go to a university? Why not go, there's other options than downloading an app to have men like how pretty much exactly how she stated, lonely men with money coming to give you money and hang out with you. Yeah, you had other options than that. You chose the basic route that most young, attractive women are gonna pick, you know, especially if they're struggling with money. They're gonna go they're gonna put in the least amount of work to expect the biggest payoff, which is usually gonna be prostitution. It's prostitution.
So I wanted a way to surround myself with people who are passionate, career-driven, way further in their careers than I could even possibly imagine being right now. And
okay, translation. She wanted the prostitute to move up the ladder, but she didn't want to go street walking.
It was one of the only ways I knew how.
Yeah.
And if you have any ideas on how to do that, please feel free to comment them down below or message me on Instagram at crazyfamilyfirst or Tori Zienka. Believe me, I would love your ideas. And then the other reason was I went on dating apps before. I've been on Bumble and Tinder and Hinge.
Yeah,
and
wasn't no rich man on there.
Videos down the road on all different types of dating apps. But I wasn't.
Yeah. She went on Bumble, Tinder, and Hinge, but there was no guarantee of meeting rich men on there. Because I guarantee she was like paying for the app and all that shit. Well, maybe I could single out these broke dudes and only get to the rich guys for the guys who pay for the app. Yeah, because that's what Sarah did. And Sarah met her man. Yeah. And blah, blah. Like, see, but like I say all the time, it's not always about money. It's not always about money. But these hoes, it's always about money. Because why didn't she let, there's plenty of older men on Bumble and Tinder and all that shit. Why didn't she, yeah. Because I guarantee you where that secret arrangement is at, you probably got to pay a bigger fee to get in there. She's trying to filter out all the guys who's not openly spending a decent amount of money. That's her. That was her other strategy and experiment. Like, and she probably quit. She'll probably do it from time to time. But it's definitely an income option for a woman. Now, not all women. All women ain't gonna do it. Maybe because some women just don't fuck good. Other women, they don't have the self-confidence or for whatever reason. But these types of hoes, fucking garbage.
Finding really what I was looking for. I was mostly finding young men that just wanted to hook up, and that's not what I was interested in. I, in general, like older men, and seeking arrangements is a great place to meet older men that fit other criteria I was looking for in a partner or in a friends with benefits situation or just a friend. You know, there's all different things, like a dating.
Bull fucking shit. You can set the age range on Bumble and Tinder and all that shit to be other ages. No, it's just, she thinks she's running them slick ones on mother. You see, this is, when you listen to bitches talk, it's clearly how dumb they really are and how dumb they really are and thinking that they could pull facts. See, they can get away with this shit with other bitches because other bitches are this dumb. But men know what this shit is and can smell it from a mile of fucking way. And she'll get lucky. She'll find some desperate guy because she's not the best looking woman on the planet. Most of these bitches aren't because for one reason or another. But even then, I mean, they're not the worst looking. But okay, like the smarter guys know to just go to college campuses, work somewhere near college campus. If you're trying to get a 19, 20-year-old bitch, stay close to a college campus. If that's specifically what you're trying to do. But let's be real. Based off her stories and what she's talking about, and you know these usual whores on here that's in the same group, they couldn't make it into a college. All right. so their only option is iPhone apps. Let's face it, they're too good for Android. So anyway, iPhone apps, iPhone 6 apps, because Android is beneath them. So yeah, any guy who's really about, okay, see, bitches, by the time bitches have to do, this is what I try to get across, man. By the time bitches are in online worlds like this, it's because in real life, when they walk, something is throwing off like the men they're looking for. And they're getting stuck with the young broke guys who just want to hook up. See, there's a reason why women go. See, that's why I say all the time, never mess with a woman. Now we got coronavirus, so it's a little more difficult. But when things are normal, don't mess with women who are in online shit too much, because that's a huge red flag. I'm telling you, every time.
App. Depending on the person, you're going to want different things with that person. It's no different than on seeking arrangements. It's just seeking arrangements usually has a financial aspect of it.
Prostitution.
So there usually be a, what's the best word for it? an allowance, gifts, things of that nature. Just like if you were dating someone, it was your anniversary and they give you a gift. It's pretty similar to that concept, just a little bit differently. Now, other people join the apps to, you know, get paid for sex. Other people join the apps to pay for sex. And it becomes more of a prostitution situation or an escort thing. But that's not the intention of the site. They also say you shouldn't do it.
Okay, look, let's make this clear. Your purpose, for your vagina's purpose, is prostitution. Okay, now it's not going to come out in pay me $200 to fuck. It's going to come out in, oh, well, I think I could fuck him if I think he can pay me later in some way for it. Whether it's protection or sometimes it's money. Maybe you because I remember this girl in college. Her name was Justine, I think. And a friend told me, like, don't ever mess with her. That girl is a fucking mess. And he said she's not a hooker, but she's not a direct hooker, because her game, just like most women's game, most women's game is either going to be pay me up front for sex, I want the cash in my hand, or I'll fuck you in hopes that you'll pay me at a later date, meaning he's going to buy me shoes, or if I call him and ask him for money, do I think he'll pay me then? Like a week or two later, you'll start getting that shit back. So in these dumb bitches' mind, that's dumb bitch mind for Jedi mind trick. I'm not a hooker if I don't ask for money within 48 hours of fucking you. That doesn't make me a prostitute. No, I'll just ask for it a week later. Yeah, I'm not a prostitute. Yeah, yeah, haha. But you know what? If Rod stops paying my shit, well, the pussy's gonna start drying up, son. That's crazy.
But it's definitely present on the site. So the reality of the site, that's kind of what that brings me into, is what is the site really like? I would love to say it is like the intentions of the site, but you know it's not. There are so many men out there just looking to pay for sex. A lot of times that's all you'll really find. I think you have to hunt very hard for men that aren't looking for just that, but that's very similar to Tinder. Besides,
okay, yeah, it's like I said earlier, it's either going to be men looking for either men and or women looking for the direct payoff, meaning like here's cash in hand, fuck right now, or the woman who made this video, you're going to hear out a guy to see if you can get paid at a later date. And now, if you figure you can get payment from a later date from him, now you can play that Jedi mind trick of saying, oh, I'm not a prostitute because I didn't get money up front for it. And I haven't even had sex with him yet. So I'm not a prostitute yet. Am I? But just like you said earlier, see, the reason why you didn't fuck with Tinder or Bumble, because there's older men on Tinder or Bumble too, I'm sure. Because that's just not how, see, guys just don't operate like that. They ain't just going to one site. Guys play all the options. So I know there's older men on Tinder and Bumble and shit like that. But bitches like you didn't get that chance to talk to him long enough to hear him and feel him out to see, oh, well, if I ask him next week to pay my internet bill and my car insurance, will he do it? Because if he can, then I guess I can lay on my back for 15 minutes if he'll make my life easier and pay that off, you know, a week from now. So I'm not a prostitute technically, because prostitutes take money at the exact moment, right? Right? And they probably Googled it. Google, did you prostitute? Am I a prostitute if I get payment a week after fucking a guy? Well, that doesn't matter, I don't know. You're a fucking hooker. Get over it.
They're not paying you. I am not saying I condone paying for sex or getting paid to have sex because, well, that's illegal, but it definitely happens on the site, and I'm not going to ignore that factoid and act like it doesn't exist, because then you'll sign up and be very disappointed when 5 billion guys message you just looking to pay you to Now, I did not just find out that everybody was looking for sex because of all the messages I got. Anybody can sign up and get messages and make a video on it. No, I wanted to give this a real shot. I signed up for Seeking Arrangements, I'm not even sure how long ago. It's been a while, and I had an account for a little while, originally because I had an old roommate who used to manage her friend's Seeking Arrangements account and got paid a percentage of it. And she told me all about it, and then I was like, oh.
So she was the pimp. She was the pimp on a fucking app because the hoe was too dumb and lazy to regulate it. So her friends are pimps and hoes. Her own friend was pimping a bitch. Her friends, she's telling, see, this is how dumb bitches are. She's already.
Maybe I should sign up, but I was in a relationship.
You were another hoe. Oh, these bitches are fucking off the charts. You are a fucking hoe, baby. You know what this sounds like? Go back and watch that movie, The Other Guys. You guys see the movie The Other Guys where Will Ferrell ended up being a pimp, but he didn't think he was a pimp. He said, well, I went by the name Gator. And Mark Wahlberg's like, dude, you were a pimp. He goes, no, I just knew a friend who did it. And yeah. And, and he finally admits he was a pimp like an hour later. Shit, like, yeah. This bitch was a hoe. Well, she is a hoe. Because I guarantee she's still fucking with it.
And then we were on a break, and I signed up and decided to see what it was like. We got back together. I never did anything. And then sometime later, I decided maybe I should give it a shot again. I'm single, and I'm looking for someone.
I'm single. I ran out of money. I ran the last boyfriend off, and I could use some dick. But I think I'm too good to fuck dudes for free on Tinder. Let's go to Secret Arrangements. See if I can find a sugar daddy to pay my shit.
And maybe just a friend, but either way, I'm looking for something and someone, and, you know, I love the advantages that the site might be able to bring. And so I signed up again, and, oh, in the past, I didn't mention, I went on 2 dates with 2 different guys. Nothing went anywhere. They kind of were just meh, coffee type. One was like lunch, I think one was like coffee. Nothing really happened. We didn't talk about much. I realized they were a lot more broke and not able to have an arrangement.
No, I wish I could rewind time so I could go have a genuine reaction. No, because I knew she was going to do that. The fact that she didn't bounce on a fucking dick or get the offer to bounce on a dick, I'm going to tell you what happened. What happened was those guys gave, okay, in this prostitution world with whores that are sensitive like this, she doesn't want to know that you have options because she wants to know that she could take all your money. So the fact that I guarantee at some point she did the math and realized, oh, he can just go pay another one when he's mad at me. So they're not certain, they're not a safe bet. So then she went to, oh, well, they were broke and blah, blah. That's what bitches do. I promise you. I will bet $1 million to a fucking rotted donut that's what happened. Because I knew she was going to start bashing them. I knew it.
At all. They couldn't even mentor me or introduce me to people or anything of that nature. It was just the random guys that you could meet on Tinder type men. But I went on recently an actual date with a man who was actually well off and able to introduce me to that world.
Yeah, and also, again, like I said in the other video I posted about an hour ago, if girls like this are so fucking, if they're worth so much and they're so valuable, why are they online trying to find these? Why aren't they finding them in real life? Because they're not in that culture. That's why. Because they're not part of that culture, and people in that culture don't allow them in those circles. So instead, she now has to go on some old backdoor fucking prostitution site to try to slide in. But all she's ever going to make, most of them, all they're going to make it as is just a fucking cum dump to be thrown out the next week. Every now and then you get, what's that bitch name with the short hair? Every now and then you get some of those, or Cardi B. Every now and then, see, Cardi B's are like fucking, Cardi B's and bitches like this are like Michael Jordans or like, you know, some shit like that. Like, that's what they want. So, oh, I want to find a man's gonna get me around. Bitch, if you was so worth, you would have naturally been in that world. You wouldn't have to go creeping on apps to find some man who's already in a relationship and go try to creep through the back door to get money and move up the circle because you're not worth that. That's why you got it. Because if you was worth it, you'd already be in there.
And we were talking for a little bit. He was nice and taking things slow, and it was great. We're getting to know each other. And I actually went on the date. Now, don't judge me too much. This was a while ago in the beginning of quarantine. We both hadn't met any people and had been alone in our apartments. And we decided to meet up and get takeout for dinner. And we just ate dinner and talked about what we were looking for, our lives, kind of just more information about each other. And at first I thought he was looking for something a little bit different than he actually was. He went in it saying, you know, he wasn't looking for a one-night stand. He wasn't looking for somebody that would be hooking up with a bunch of people. He was actually looking for a monogamous relationship. Now,
and because I wish I had a genuine response. Now, the reason why this could be good or bad for her, I already know how her brain is going to think. He was looking for a monogamous relationship. Okay, so where hooker mind went was, oh, well, if he wants a monogamous relationship, that means, well, the good side is I can take all his money and all his resources. But the bad news is How long will it be until he finds out I'm a piece of shit and kicks me out? How much will I get a huge payoff? No. And the other bad side is, a kind of good side is, well, if he's that serious and wants me as a monogamous relationship, that means I can take advantage of him and I can go find his friends and I can fuck his friends and move up the ladder, but keep him, straggling along like a desperate puppy and tap into that source every time I want it. But I can keep moving up the ladder and keep him on because he's that serious about a monogamous relationship.
Relationship, not prostitution or escort service or a girl that was going to meet 6 other guys. He wanted a real relationship. And this was something that kind of interests me. But there was multiple turn-off points that made me realize that I don't think he was really honest with himself on what he was looking for, because he made it very clear that he would pay every single time we saw each other, only if we had sex. And I was not interested in that. Even in a relationship, I don't ever want it to be a requirement that we have sex. It's not a relationship. That's not healthy in my opinion. Yes, most times if I'm in a relationship, I do have sex every single time I am with my partner. But it doesn't mean that I want that to be a requirement or feel the pressure to need.
Yeah, just like I said earlier, she wants that desperate dog on that leash that she can tap into whenever she wants it. And keep him desperate on the leash, like, waiting for pussy. You see, that's that feminism shit. that's that feminine, that strong, independent. I want to be strong and independent, but I'm still a woman independent by nature. So she's fighting that balance in her fucking head.
To do that, or feel like, I don't know, there's just a lot of things that were a turn off about it for me. And then also, meeting him in person, there were just some things I wasn't attracted to as I thought I would be. And so I decided not go forward with it. I did get paid for that first time we met each other. We didn't do anything, but I did get paid for it.
Yeah, that means, you're a prostitute. That's okay. You didn't fuck for it. You got paid under the idea that you would come home and fuck. But like I said, I know these Jedi mind tricks for worthless, pathetic bitches. Well, as long as I didn't fuck, I'm not a prostitute, right? I got paid to show up as a woman. That's called softcore prostitution. You showed up to look pretty and fucking left. That's prostitution. All right? In my book, I would call it prostitution. You're a fucking hooker. You got paid to show up and be a woman and leave. I'd call that prostitution. But I know the Jedi mind trick shit with it. Oh, I didn't actually fuck him, blah, blah. Well, she probably jacked him off in the car or something like that. She's probably just not going to tell us the reality of what happened. That's prostitution. She's a fucking hooker, which is nothing wrong with it. But like I told you guys before, man, I don't have a problem with prostitutes until they end up like bitches like this who think they aren't prostitutes, and damn near have a smug attitude against the world like they think they something better. That's when I got a problem with prostitutes. This bitch is a prostitute. She's just played every Jedi mind trick game in her head to convince herself that she's better than a regular hooker, and she's not. She's doing everything she can to convince herself to try to come off a bit more wholesome. She's trying every Jedi mind when she goes on a fucking pimping website and her friends are fucking pimps and didn't she tell you earlier, you are who you put yourself around? And what are her fucking friends? Her friend is getting pimped on that same website. But at the same time, she still can't get in the room with high value men to get her up in the game. What does that tell? She's telling you flat out to your face. She's a fucking hooker. And she can't even accept it at this point. Her friends are hookers, and her friends are pimps and hookers. Actual high-value men, for some reason, they just never work out, girl. But I can find all these guys on Tinder. You're a fucking tramp. Okay, so why Tinder is so easy to find? Your friend, and like you said, you are what you hang around. Your friends are pimps and hoes. But then the guys who are actually worth something, I'm just not attracted to him. So they never work out. So what does that leave you with? You're a Tinder hoe. This girl is a perfect example of a Tinder hoe who's trying to grow to a new higher level. Okay, this is female dating strategy shit. She's trying to grow to a different level, but she's not used to that culture of people. So she doesn't even know what to do with a guy who's worth anything. So naturally, those guys are never going to work out. But she can always go on Tinder and get pumped and dumped and all that shit real quick. But she's trying to upgrade in life, like female dating strategy hoes. So for the few of them who you know, she's not the best looking girl, but she's a good. I mean, she's fuckable. For these girls, they'll eventually, you know, get a bite from a high value man, what they deem high value man. They'll get a bite from here and there. Usually guys already married with kids, his own family, and she's just the fucking cum dump that he, you know, calls over to have a little fun with and throws her the fuck out. So when this girl is actually on a date where she actually has this, okay, do the math. When she actually has to go on a date and sit down and talk, that's when nothing works. Nothing works. Oh, I don't know why. They just wanted. When she actually has to open her mouth with doing something other than putting a fucking dick in it, nothing works out. She's telling on herself. She's telling on herself.
And it brought me an introduction into what it's like. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions about seeking arrangements and it being unsafe or wrong or illegal. And all those things can definitely be true, but I think, again, that is like just any other dating app, okay? If you are meeting somebody off Tinder, that's just as unsafe as meeting somebody off seeking arrangements. It can actually be more unsafe because seeking arrangements, you can talk to people that are just verified, so they verify their income, background check, all these different things that you can actually select to only talk to and meet with people that meet these certain criterias that they've done paid background checks on them. And you don't see that really on Tinder much, do ya? So it can sometimes be even more safe than other dating apps, but it definitely can be unsafe. You have to be safe about it, just like any other type of dating. You have to have your protocols in which you do when you meet somebody new that you've never met before. And then what was the other thing I said besides it being, oh, obviously illegal? So yes, if you choose to go on there and look.
Okay, I feel like she is gonna ramble about some nonsense. Okay, so what I got from this bitch is she's a basic woman. Okay, as long as she doesn't have to talk, she'll get fucked and get money. But as soon as she has to open her fucking mouth and not put a dick in it, or lick ass or something, as soon as she has to open her mouth as a human, that's when nothing ever works. With high class men, that's when it just didn't work. I didn't know. But she go on Tinder, get plowed all day long, have friends get pimped out, all that shit. But as soon as she has to sit down and actually have to put thought into her character as a human with a man who she deems as high value and all this shit like that, that's when it never works out. It's not going to work out every time. I promise you. I bet every time.
Just be paid for sex, then yes, that is illegal. That is not legally allowed to do that. That's, you know, no simpler way to put it. We are not in another country where that is legal. It is.
Okay, see, this whole rant about paying for sex is legal. See, this is her desperately she is desperately trying to convince herself that she's not a prostitute. And that was not her intention the whole time. Because I didn't get paid in cash the moment I opened my mouth, so I'm not a prostitute, right? This is nothing but a desperate plea to convince herself and you that she's not a prostitute.
It's illegal in America. If you're watching this in America, you could not get paid to have sex with somebody legally. You could do it, you just, you know, you're making some risk here. Back to my actual date, I realized I didn't mention something that I promised I would talk about, and that is offers I have actually gotten for specific arrangements if you are curious at all, and I think a lot of people out there are. So he offered the whole pay per meet thing, and it was $400 every single time I saw him, and I could see him as much as I wanted. He was actually interested in even seeing each other every single day of the week. And then in addition to the fact of paying $400 every single time we saw each other, he was also interested in traveling, which wouldn't happen as much during quarantine and everything, obviously. But even during quarantine, he wanted to book a cabin and go stay there for the weekend, excluded from people, you know, just like bring food, cook, get taken.
Let me tell you something, bro. I already know where this is headed. You want to know why I know where this is headed? Because she's saying everything that he gave to her, but she's kind of saying it in like she's saying it in a downtrodden kind of tone, if that makes sense. Like as if she's saying it in the mode of, I got this guy to do everything for me, so I won. When in reality, I mean, she probably, I'm willing to bet she lost. I think that I don't think I've seen this, but I'm willing to bet she lost.
Yeah, that type of thing, and obviously he would pay for everything, and it would definitely be a cool, interesting way to see the world at a affordable price, because I wouldn't be paying anything and I would actually be paid to be there. But again, it was just, he was not the type of person I wanted to have that arrangement with, nor did the arrangement perfectly fit what I was looking for. I wouldn't say that I would say no to it in another situation. I might with somebody else, just not with him. So he was the only one that I went on more of a serious date with, and we actually talked about details on what we were really looking for, and there seemed like there was potential there. And even though it didn't work out, it was, you know, more serious than another situation. It got me to really see the reality of what it's like going on a seeking arrangements date. And the only other situation is one I accidentally got into, and that was off of Seeking Arrangements. It was actually on Hinge. I matched with a guy who wanted to take me out to dinner that night. We talked on the phone, blah, blah, blah. I just loved how straightforward he was and made a plan, and, you know, was very specific. I'm one of those people where people are like, you want to go on a date like next week? And I half time don't end up messaging them back, or I messaged them back like once, and we don't really talk much. But either way, he was very forward and in a way that was good. And so I said yes, and he picked me up from my place in a sports car, go figure. And it was right away, I was like, this is interesting. Top-down sports car. And I liked it. It was cool. And we drove, we got ice cream. He actually let me drive the car. We were going back and forth on my driveway, speeding like crazy fast. Definitely illegal, but super fun. And I probably scared him a little bit on how fast I was going, but I'm kind of a speed addict. And it wasn't my car, so I wasn't as worried. And so it was crazy, it was fun, it was enjoyable, but one thing I definitely learned about him that I wasn't expecting was the fact that he doesn't live where I live. He lived in New York, and so I was like, oh, you know, how is this ever gonna work? And he's like trying to convince me, like, hey, I will pay you to come out to New York with me and, you know, spend time with me, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, this is interesting. This sounds more like Seeking Arrangements than a Hinge situation. And I was...
Okay, this bitch she is in strong denial of her being a prostitute. She is in strong denial. And bitches like this, I have no respect for. She is in strong denial of being a hooker. Because this is what feminism has brought out in this type of woman. The feminism brought us out in the type of woman who's still, you know, skinny, looks like she's taking a bath. She can pull some guys, but she's not the best looking girl. Feminism has brought this out where they're trying to eat off both plates. Meaning she's trying to get the best prostitution deal while also moving up in the world, while also saying, oh, I want something real and serious. She's trying to get all this in one fucking guy. And some guys, depending on the guy's situation, he may try to, you know, give her the facade that, you know, he's checking all these boxes, you know, just to keep some pussy around. But other than that, you know, what she's doing is the same thing as a guy trying to find a woman, you know, who is going to be a genuine at heart, you know, street hooker whore, and then be genuine at heart a home, you know, a housewife. Though it just don't exist, and that's what she's trying to do. But the difference is, it's harder to explain it to her because, you see, because it's harder to take a woman down from her fantasy than it is to take a man down from his. Because a woman, especially nowadays in the U.S., if she's just in a healthy weight range, she automatically thinks she deserves the world. If she's in a healthy weight range and has relatively clear skin and took a bath, oh, she automatically, feminism taught, oh, I deserve everything. Everything. Because she'll have some desperate guy coming, because you guys don't have brothels in the U.S. Prostitution is relatively harder to come by. So they got the game by the ball. So she thinks she's worth everything. And the saddest part is, well, she's not the best looking now, but the saddest part is when she gets older. And these days are going to be long gone. That's the real sad part.
I was open to it. We actually got along well. It was great. And then he also mentioned the fact that he would be back in LA all the time. So either he would fly me out to New York or he would be flying out to LA a lot for work, and we could see each other and make, you know, potentially a relationship out of it. And then he ended up messaging me. He's like, hey, it's going to be a little while before I am visiting LA, but I'm going to be in San Francisco. Do you want to join me? And so obviously I've already met him, got to know him, felt safe and comfortable. And I said no at first because I was starting a new job and I was like, oh, I can't do that. I can't be taking the time off, blah, blah, blah. And in general, I was like, I don't know how I feel about going on a second date that is a trip, because that's a more serious type of commitment thing.
Okay, and right there, she just gave away something else. Because see, this is what dumb bitches don't realize. She just started a new job. Let me guess. It was like Subway or some shit like that. because let's do the math. Let's do the math. If she wants to be around guys who are so successful and have older men who have a lot of money and they can financially support me and they can move me up into the world of new things to do, if she would, okay, if the new job she just started or any job she had in the past, if she was in that culture of people, why not just fuck the bosses at her job? Because she works at Subway. That's why. She works at Starbucks. That's why. She don't want to fuck the manager of Starbucks. She want she's trying to move out that. See, she's telling on herself. She's telling on herself and kind of who she is, right? Like clearly, her friends are pimps and whores. And she thought that could be her way out of being around pimps and whores, but her culture is too deep, so it's all she knows how to be around. She just started a job with a guy who was flying her around the world, not even around the world, just around the U.S. because the dumb bitch probably don't even got a passport. On top of that, if the job that she's working, if she's such a high class, high caliber whore, why, and she's so pretty, why isn't she fucking the higher ups in her actual job? Why? Because see, that's real life. See, she met him on some app, so she don't even know anything about this motherfucker. The guy who's flying her around, he could be taking allowance money that he's getting from his mom to fly her out. For all I've met women in real life who told me stories about that. The guy was lying to her the whole time, and the guy lived at home with his parents and his parents was actually giving him the allowance money, and so he would fly bitches from the Ukraine out the fucking hotel and told her all types of lies. I met women like that who told me the stories like that personally. So at this point, we don't even know if the motherfucker is legit, you know, what she would call high value. But with all that, push all that aside. Think about it. If she was so high caliber, high quality, and she only wants to fuck guys who are older, have their she could shit together, blah, 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 da, 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 and she just started a job, well, why didn't she fuck the guys at her job? See, this is why I tell you, when women are in that online shit, there's a reason why she had to go online. Because something about her in regular, everyday, real life just doesn't fit. It's not working. Something about her is fucked up and regular. Like I said, if I had to guess, she probably works at McDonald's or something. And she don't want to fuck those guys anymore.
And we also didn't sleep together on the first date. So obviously that was probably going to happen on the trip. So that's a much bigger step. And then my job told me that I was going to start a little bit later. So I was like, oh, maybe I should take advantage of this. You know, it'd be a fun trip. Everything would be paid for. Oh, I didn't mention that fact. He invited me on the trip and then everything would be paid for. The hotel, food, everything. And mostly by his company. I was like, maybe I should just say yes. I don't say yes to enough things in life, enough adventures. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And
well, you said yes to sign up for a hooker app. You said yes to having friends who are hookers and prostitutes. You had no problem saying yes to that. You know what you said no to? The fact that you actually got around some legit decent motherfuckers and for some reason they didn't work out. Those guys didn't work out.
I decided I didn't want to fly to San Francisco because the fact that I wanted to drive and I wanted to drive back really slow and make stops along the way. So I drove up there, I joined him. It was super fun at first. We were going to all these really nice restaurants, eating good food, going out and seeing stuff. There was some time where I kind of had to be alone in the hotel room because he did have work to do, but I would sometimes, you know, go out and explore and just enjoy the time period being off and not having to pay for stuff. And even when he was working, he would send me money for lunch, you know, get food. I have money, I make money, I can, you know, pay for my own food, but that was kind of just part of the arrangement. He wanted to do this. And so...
No, because would you have dated him if he didn't do it?
It was great at first, but he turned into a total dick. The trip almost ended before it actually ended, and all these different stuff, blah, blah, blah. We got mad at each other. It didn't work out. You know, that happens on dates. Sometimes you realize the guy's a total dick. So it ended, and...
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why the guy was a total dick, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Is because, like I said, this is why I'd never recommend American women. Most of them are just fucking trash, because they've really got this. Their entitlement is just off the charts, and this is why they don't like to leave the U.S. Because see, a girl like this in America, depending on where you are, she's anywhere from I'd say, you know, okay, in the realm, if you only want to judge her off her physical appearance, where you're like walking in a brothel to go, you know, pick the bitch you. Okay, I'd tell you this, if she worked at a brothel in Prague, she wouldn't last. All right. But in the U.S., it's different. People drive everywhere. They don't walk. You know, here people walk a lot more, eat better food. So in the U.S., I would say, from my honest opinion, from U.S. women, I'd give her about a 6.5. But in the U.S., that's enough to be demanding in the U.S. Now, coincidentally, they were in L.A., and that's when he turned into a total dick, which, okay, let's just be real. Okay, now, on the other hand, you take this same girl and you put her in the middle of New York City or Los Angeles, she's going to go down about 2.5 points. So out there, she's even in her realm of woman of not being fat and blah, 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 she'll go down. If you take her out to New York City or Los Angeles, let's just say Santa Monica. You take her out to Santa Monica, she goes down to about a 4, a 3.5 or 4. That's with her with makeup on and eyelashes done and all that shit like that. She goes down to about a 4. So the fact that that guy was willing to pay in those worlds a 4 to fly out, none of that shit sounds right, man. Nothing about that sounding right. If I had to guess, that he was probably just some dude with really low self-esteem, or either a dude who was like super low, and flying a bitch like that out. Either, I mean, if you only want to judge her off her looks and her shit personality, you know, and her friends, because you are what you hang around, and you're a fucking hooker, because that's what your friends are, bitch, because you explained it in the first fucking 5 minutes of the video. If you're gonna fly a fucking, if I flew a 4 in Czech Republic, or if like from Germany out to Prague, like that shit don't even add up, man. Like at that point, the dude was probably paying hookers a whole lot more money in California and Los Angeles, and cherry picked her from fucking Indiana or some shit like that. And from Indiana, she hit a lick. Girl, I hit a lick. I got a guy flying me out. But them bitches, like those high caliber bitches in LA and New York, they used to that shit. They flying in and out all the time. So like, I mean, bitch, look, whatever this bitch's name, bitch, think about this shit. Okay, let's just be, I'm talking to you directly, bitch, who made this video. You know you're not the prettiest woman on the planet. All right, let's just be real about it. As brutal to hear, but let's be real about it. You are not the prettiest woman on this planet. And you know, see, this shit hurts other guys, because other guys don't want to bring it. They don't want to talk to women like this, but I'll talk to you like this. You know, you are LA 3.5 to 4 at best. All right, especially in that realm of, okay, in that realm of being like healthy woman who's not fat and took a bath, you are at, I say on a great day, a 5.5. That's if you close your mouth so I don't see the gap and your hair is done right and you wearing just the right type of pants with shirt and shit like that. You might go up to about a 6 with them. But and we both know this. If you really went out to LA, you know what I'm saying is true. You know I'm not making this shit up. All right. Now, do the math. If this guy was such a great high caliber guy, blah, 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 da, 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 why is he flying you out to be around when there's plenty of 9s and 10s out there already? Think about it. There's something wrong with him. He's got to fix something in him. If he's flying, because like I said, that sounds brutal from the outside in, but you know what I'm saying is true. You know you are not the prettiest woman on this planet. So why is he flying you out to a world where there's prettier bitches out there? Or if he's had that much money, why don't he just fly to Prague and fuck 10s? 10 out of 10s for fucking $100 instead of fly some 4 out for fly, you know, a $400 plane ticket, paying for food, $400. What? Something's wrong with that. And you know what I'm saying is true. But I know how you're getting off to it by throwing it all up in these other dingbat bitches' faces on this right side. Say, well, I had to gotta do this. I had to gotta do that. I had to gotta do this. I had to. But you know what I'm saying is true. There is something wrong. There is something seriously wrong with that guy, because you know you're not the prettiest woman, even in your hometown, right? We ain't even got on getting to Pennsylvania yet. And then no, we don't even count New York City yet, or LA. All right. So you got to think and be honest with yourself. Why would he? I'm not that pretty. Why would he? If you basing off prostitution, and that's all prostitution is based off of, is being pretty and how good you're fucking. Why is he flying my ugly ass out to Los Angeles when there's plenty of other bad bitches who work at Starbucks who would take this money? Why is he flying me? What makes me so special for that? Think about it. Be honest with yourself.
And I don't think it didn't end early. No, it didn't end early. I did make it to the last day of the trip, and then I drove back. And so he even paid for my gas and everything to drive there and back. So I'm driving back, and I stopped and did so many different like hikes and adventures. I actually vlogged some of that time, so feel free to check out my vlog playlist down below to watch some of that. And now you know who the secret man is that I went on that trip with and why I was in San Francisco. Yeah, and it was for a second date with a guy that ended up being I think it was like a week in San Francisco. So that's not a typical second date, but that's kind of very similar to what seeking arrangements is like. You're just dating someone that has more money than you and is interested in paying for things in most cases. Now, the reality of seeking arrangements, I wish was more like that date with the guy off of Hinge, but in most cases, it is just men looking to pay for sex, and there's less men that are looking for an actual, more serious arrangement with benefits on both sides. And
okay, I'm gonna get off here. I've been on here about an hour now. So long story short, this bitch is desperate. She is like extremely desperate to convince herself and other dumbass hoes that to not associate themselves with the taboo of being an openly known prostitute. That's all this entire video was. Desperately trying to convince herself and other dumb whores that to not associate themselves with negative taboo of being prostitute. That's all it was. I just go on this website and talk to men because they just like to spend money, and I don't like to talk to men who don't spend money. That's all. Are you fucking kidding me? It's unbelievable. Let's go through the comment section real fast. I'm just curious now. And I guess just like every prostitute, what's the first thing up here? My Amazon wish list. My Amazon wish list. Anybody want to buy me something else? Yeah, I agree with Mercedes. You're sweet, speak straight. She would be great if she accepted that she was a hooker. Then I'd love. I think she'd be a great person. But I hate when bitches try to act like they're not hookers. That's what just irks the fuck out of me. Who is this? Alex Pham, probably Filipino or something. I love your personality. I'm glad I ran to this video. I recently signed up on Seek an Arrangement to seek temporary financial support for college. Look, what did I tell you guys? And I think in the live stream or something like that I did. Man, I say most, if not all, those younger girls, if they, because they're not gonna have any money when they're 19. Right? And unless their parents are taking care, even if their parents are taking care of them, they want that validation from men. So they're gonna go out and fuck for validation. But some of them, they might fuck guys who are broke. But a lot of them, most of them are gonna have, most women are gonna have at least 1 to 2 guys who she's keeping on the hook to get money out of on some softcore prostitution type shit. Most of them are gonna do it. The only thing is now social media is making it so you can see it more clear if you know what you're looking at. That's the only difference. Oh, this girl, she's had no luck so far. I've contemplated whether to keep searching or not. Your video answered a question for me. Thank you. Time to delete my account. So she fucked up. Well, Alex, fam, you ever see this video? To be honest, this bitch is probably lying. Either the guy honestly didn't fly her out like she's trying, or she probably paid for the ticket, or the guy was living at home with his parents and taking his allowance money to fake all this shit. Like I said, over in Europe, you hear this shit a lot more. Because prostitution is legal. If it's not legal, then police just don't care about it over here. You know how many times that shit happens? Where fucking a dude to be living at home with his parents and get allowance from his parents and save up his money, you know, at the end of the month or something like that, or in the end of 2 months, fly a bitch out from Ukraine or Romania, a bad bitch out, and take her to hotels and put on this whole act and facade like he's working this job and blah, blah, blah. He's got a lot of work to do, blah, blah, blah. And then about 6 months later, he comes and just tells her the truth, like, I live at home with my parents, and blah, blah. That shit happens a lot over here. I've heard that a lot more from well, because bitches over here are a bit more open than they are in the U.S. In the U.S., women, they're really fucked up on the whole, I have to be seen as valuable to the world. That way value will come to me. Some old self-help bullshit. So, okay, back to Alex Pham. So she just couldn't pull it off. It sounds like in any way to fully support herself. Because here's the thing. Men and women, we're both going to be, unless our parents are paying for shit, we're both going to be completely dead broke because we don't have anything. But see, like, this is where women beat men. Women have that added benefit of just being woman and having holes for some lonely guy to come fuck. And then she can charge for it. But even then, a lot of them fuck up. A lot, like this girl, this Alex Pham, she's probably like one of those I told y'all about earlier. A lot of them college girls, they'll suck 3 dicks to get a ride to the grocery store because they don't want to walk. And what's sucking a dick? Opening a hole and bobbing for 5 minutes, you know, versus, you know, not having any money to eat. Money to eat with. A lot of bitches are doing that. So Crazy Family, she said, thank you. Fortunately, it's not uneasy. It's not as easy, quick as we wish it was. Oh, yeah, as women for sure. Yeah, you wish you had, yeah. Yeah. But I will be doing an upcoming video trying out a bunch of ways to make money at home from a bunch of videos and say what works and what does not. Long story short, the only way these hoes are gonna make money is if they got some beta on the hook to come buy her shit or give her some money because she don't know it. Oh, Alex Pham said I'm still a freshman, so 4 years. Yeah, so she really ain't got shit, but you know, but ass to sell, and that's more because a man don't even got that. So at least Alex, you got ass to sell. That's what you on here trying to do, sell ass while you in college, like most of them are gonna do. I'm studying business management. Yeah. Good luck with that shit. I mean, there's some people who get success out of that, but that's a dime a dozen. And you on here trying to suck dick for money? Yeah, good luck with that, Alex. Good luck with that. Anyway, I'm out of here, man. I gotta go. Y'all have a good day. Bye.